Well, this morning we're going to do a review of the Big Hank Campground. It's situated on the the North Fork of the Coeur d'Alene River in the Idaho Panhandle National Forest. Here's the check-in board. Gives you the rules and regulations. And right after you enter the gates, there's site number 1. Very close to the road. It's first come, first serve. It's got plenty of sunshine for solar. Probably some afternoon shade. It is about (10 a.m. So this is the amount of sunshine you got on a sunny day at 10 a.m. Site number 2. It's a double wide site. Pretty big. The part where your tent would go is actually pretty sunny, but your vehicles looks like in there in the shade most of the day. Some regulations. Welcome in board. Tells you a little bit about some of the birds. Woodpecker here. Another site. This is site number 3, I believe. Yep, site number 3. It's also a double wide one. And out of the back of these sites that are on the left as we're walking through, they have little trails that go right down to the river. We'll take one of them down there and show you the pretty typical trail. It's pretty close, 50 yards or so. You can hear the road, but this is the last campground on the road, so there's not going to be very many cars coming through. Very few cars. It's another beautiful day here. This is Wednesday, I believe it's June 5th. 2023, 2024. Oh boy, I don't even know what year it is. Site number 5. Site number 6. Most of these sites have pretty good stacks of firewood. This campground was recently logged because there was a lot of dead trees. This campsite's been here more than 50 years. So some of the trees were old and some were rotten. A lot of the park is in a little bit disrepair. The fire pits and the barbecue pits, barbecue stands are quite old. Some are rusted and fallen over, but some of them are okay. This is site number 7, another double wide site. Some bicyclists coming through. Morning. Yes, you are. As you can see, there's one of the outhouses, pit toilets. They're kind of old, still functioning. They do have potable, drinkable water. They're the old school pump type. We'll show you one of those. Back from the days when the Conservation Corps used to build these campgrounds. See, there's a lot of open area at a lot of these. There's one of the barbecues I'm thinking your hot dogs are gonna be rolling out the back of that one. But the sites are very widely separated, so that part's good. That is site number 8, I'm thinking, with the bad barbecue. This one over here is supposed to be the host site, but it looks like they haven't been able to hire one. You can see they got quite the stack of firewood there. Looks like they got cable, electric, sewer. So right now they got a little sign that says it's available. This site is open for first come, first serve camping. Once a new host has been hired, this site will again become unavailable. So we don't know when that'll, usually by June, they've got somebody in there already. They do have some trash receptacles. It's $24 a night here. Of course, if you have your senior discount pass, it'd be $12 a night. There's one of these old school water pumps. They're kind of cool. They're all throughout here. You gotta You got to get them pumping. Takes a few pumps, then you get some water coming at them for a minute or two. Oh, that's how these work. And then if you want to fill a bucket or something, they got this little brass thing you can lift up and the water comes out the bottom. Anyhow, that's how those work. I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen that fine device. But you get your little workout besides hauling the water. Here's another one, pretty shady site. That one's also a double wide, so you could, park a camper and a trailer there, or your vehicle and your trailer could be side by side. Or if you had a tent trailer, you could open it up real sideways. It's another nice site here. This is site number. It's hard to see site number 10. So, and then the next site is not till all the way over here. So that's probably a good 50-60 feet in between them. A lot more than you would have at a RV park or something. Of course, there is no cell reception here whatsoever. But you can see they left the firewood cut and stacked at most of the sites. There's tons of firewood to use. No extra charge for it. So I'm liking this site's pretty nice. It's got plenty of shade and sun. And this would be site number 12. And this is site number 13 over on this side, another double wide. A lot of double wides. The table's kind of hidden back there with the... They also have in-ground fire pits besides the stand-up barbecue one, so they usually have one of each. In-ground for a fire pit and then a stand-up one to barbecue on. Let's go see if we can find a little trail that goes back to the river. Most of these campsites have one. I'm not seeing one out of this site. We'll find one that does. So some of these are reservable and some are not. So they got a little sign on the post saying this site is a reservation site. So they can be reserved online. But some of them are first come, first serve. Just depends. So you can see it's not too busy on a Wednesday. But I'm sure on Friday afternoon or so it'll probably fill up. Even though we're about 41 miles from I-90. So it's pretty far back. And the road is kind of rough the last 10, 12 miles. A lot of potholes. It looks like they got them circled and they're going to work on them this summer, but they haven't started working on them yet. This is another site. Very big site. Very wide driveway. It's got a big stack of lumber for firewood. And this would be site number 15. It's a nice one. Big tall trees. So the sun's going to go down in that direction. So in the afternoon this will be in the shade. Probably sunny in the morning. A little bit sun. It's another one of these old school outhouses with the pit toilets. And the trees there. See it. And then there's another big stack of firewood out there in that meadow. This is site number 16. Very sunny site here. Let's go see if 16's got a path down to the river out the back. Kind of cool. This one's really sunny. But you can see it's a pretty good distance over to the other site. It's quite a ways. You got all this space here. And then the one above it, it's got a camper or a trailer in there, but it's a pretty good distance too. You're talking probably 100 feet. 100 feet. That's pretty good. probably 100 feet each way. Well, let's see if this little trail they got, looks like it runs right out the back of the campsite into the river. There's one of the barbecue stand-up ones. And then there's their in-ground fire pit for your fire. This one looked kind of old. I don't know if I'd want to put my eggs on that metal grate or my hot dogs. You might get your ration of iron pretty well. No, yeah, here's the little trail. It's running out the back of the campsite through the bushes. Fairly level. It's easy to walk down. Even a small child could walk down this trail. And there's the river. So this part's out in the sun, at least it is for now. This is the North Fork of the Coeur d'Alene River. We're way up, 41 miles up where it meets the freeway. And it looks like somebody has built a little rock retaining wall. I'm sure that when the river goes down that wall is out of water. Probably what gives an area for the kids to play in. Here's your view here. About 12, 13 years ago or so, they had a fire up behind this campground and it was evacuated. We were coming up here to camp and it was on fire and they blocked us at Pritchard and they were evacuating the campers. So they didn't burn the campground down, but some of the hills are very near around here are burnt. They're growing back now, but it's been 15 years or so. Well, this is a nice little beach to have at the back of your site. No extra charge for that. It's included in your camp fee. So, world-class fishing of cutthroat trout. And this is campsite number 16, Sweet 16. And I'm thinking that site's pretty sweet. More nice rounds. See how big the blacktop is for parking. Allowed 2 vehicles for family. More than that, there's an extra vehicle fee for each night vehicle is here. Another one, looks like Sasquatch was walking through here, a Bigfoot. On some footprints left. That one's got a nice meadow behind there. Can't even see the campsites next to it anywhere. There must be one through the trees somewhere, but you can't really see it, so that's kind of nice. This one's taken, so this is the first camper we've seen, and we're up to site number 18. See, they got a stack of wood in between the trees. This one looks like site number 19 on the other side. More firewood for the taking. None of those old school water pumps. And your trash dumpster. This is site 19 here. Another one, huge meadow behind it. Can't see the sites on either side of it. Good separation. This is how they used to build them 50 years ago. These campsites were built real wide and far apart. This is number 20. This one's looks like it's been reserved. June 6th to June 9th. Site reserved. Number 20, it's only got a 2 left on there. I don't know what happened to the 0. Seems like a little bit of disrepair here. It's still very campable, good price. So site 21, kind of a shady one. Table's way back there. Got some more Bigfoot or Sasquatch prints going out the back. Probably have the kids try to follow those or something. Now here they come across the road. Either that or Bigfoot was walking in the paint. This is site number 22. It's a shady site, some big trees here. Another pretty long site. Usually it stays pretty green up here because we get thunderstorms in the summer. Site 23 is on the other side. It's a real nice shady one. It's got trees right over the tables and stuff. So that one's a beauty. It is next to the outhouse though. I don't know if they call them outhouses anymore, or vault pit toilet or something. As you can see, it's old school. And then it looks like there's a big space here, just open space. And then site 24, looks like it's got enough firewood for quite a few camping trips. You got the stack on this side of the driveway, then you got the stack, another big stack here. This is another one that's got the trail, goes right out the back to the river. You can hear the river, so that's kind of a nice sound. And then at the end here, this splits, and it's got a little eye loop at the end of the campsite. So keep right. We'll keep right then. And a few more sites back here. Site number 25. It's a nice long site, and you can see this person was able to fit their tent trailer sideways, all on the blacktop on the back of the site. So they got plenty of room, nice, long, deep. It's not up on the road. It's kind of nice. Can't even see their table or anything. And then the center of the eye looks like it's just all open area. So it helps keep the separation and the noise down. So this should be coming up to site number 26. We've got a few campers back here at the back. It's probably quite peaceful and quiet back here is my guess. See this one here. And there's nothing behind these sites. That's just forest all the way to the road, which is probably 300 or 400 yards on the other side of this campsite. Yeah, this is number 26. There's plenty of bike riding, hiking, fishing, kayaking, side-by-side roads all through here. All kinds of sport activities for any kind of sport you could think of. And this is another one that's very well separated. Their table and their barbecue's way back in the woods. Real nice. Got some nice trees around their site. Nice long enough to get the truck in the trailer and still have probably 20 feet. This is number 27 site. I'd say that's a real nice one. Then you come around the eye, coming around the end of the loop here. And we have another one tucked back in the forest here. This is site number 28. And behind it goes for miles of forest back in there. This one's not quite as long as some of the other ones, but it's definitely very secluded. If you wanted to pitch a tent or something, it has a real nice space in there in the shade under the trees. It's got the picnic table, barbecue stand, in-ground fire pit, little meadow behind you, big stack of wood. And then I think there's one more site over here. I'm thinking this site, you'd have to have a very small vehicle, and the table, it's the only one that's like this. The table's right on the road here. I'm standing on the blacktop, as you can see, and you're probably 10 or 12 feet from the road with your table and your barbecue. Of course, you're not going to get too much traffic back here because this is the end of the loop. This is the last site. And the driveway is also, you don't think you'd get a truck in there. You'd be hanging out pretty close. This is number 29. You can see there's some cliffs there in the distance. and the river's at the bottom of those cliffs. So that's it. Looks like they got 29. There might be 30. Let's go take a look. One more camper here I see, and it's pretty good distance from that one. Several hundred feet. This one also is not super long. Oh, and this is number 30. So this campground's got 30 campsites in it. A nice little area back there. Not quite as long as some of the other ones, but it's nice and wide. Anyhow, that's Big Hank Campground, U.S. Forest Service. I hope that you can find this useful and that there could be some, you could choose a site where you can see it, which is nice. And I thank you for watching, and you have a great day.